Listen vision, listen vision. DC's #1 recording studio.
Hello.
What's
Welcome
up,
to the Swerv Show.
Oh, you know what?
All
You
right.
can might as hey, Jacob, you can go ahead and open up this.
Open up that window.
Because he here now.
We got sunshine
Dear
in the
God,
house.
he
Wonderful.
here. Throw it up in the air, sunshine.
All right.
Hey, Samson.
Look at him,
what's
man.
going on?
Hello,
Hey,
everyone in
Samson.
Facebook land. Thank you for sharing. Tell your friends to like and share our page.
Welcome to the Swerve Show, y'all. It is October 10th. Man, the fall is here already. It's just a move and a move.
Isn't
Yes,
that wonderful?
it
Hi,
is.
William Randolph. Happy belated birthday.
So we want to welcome.
Yes, happy birthday, William.
We want to welcome everybody that's joining us for this great show. We've got our friend Samson McCormick. Samson, he only goes by one name. Samson is in the house. He just sat down. He's in a couple.
Hey,
he gets here
y'all.
for a couple days.
Oh, it's on too. Hey,
It's
oh,
on.
sounds
So he's
good.
gonna
It's on.
join
Oh,
us.
yeah. Hey, y'all.
Look at him all moisturized. Look at the skin.
Skin
you
look
can
all-
see me with the real thing.
His skin look all dewy.
Oh, the lovely, the wonderful
Shea butter
Broadway
and
actress,
Jesus,
singer,
right?
songwriter, Roz White. We
Hey,
love
Roz.
you.
Hey,
Just
Roz.
tuned in.
Hey, Roz.
Roz, when
Sheila
is that
Shabazz,
album
Lamar.
coming out? Okay, so y'all, let's get started.
Sylvia.
So welcome. Turn your
Kellen
audio
Rose.
down. So I want to welcome everyone to the show. Racine, we have our host Racine Pendarvis
Hi,
with us.
everybody.
All right.
Salutation.
We need some light over here.
Yes, because
Jacob.
something's not quite right.
Tony Nelson here in
Good
his beautiful bow tie.
Thank you. Good evening,
Jacob,
everyone.
could you give us a little more light?
Step into the light, Caroline.
Yes.
There we go. I love
That's
that.
perfect.
Youthful light.
Then we've got Your Day Noir, Your Day.
What's up, folks?
Our publisher, editor at large, and then our guest Samson. So we're gonna kick it right into high gear. Of course, our September-October issue is hot, out on the stands, featuring Derek, fabulous Rutledge.
Derek Rutledge.
And
Give me
Derek is
face.
just soaking it up around the country. So
Yes, he is. Selling face.
I'm still getting good feedback from that cover, and it's a great issue as well. Oh my God!
Everything.
happy cover.
We love you. We love everybody.
This
in
is
Facebook
probably
land.
one of our best
Like and
September
share.
issues.
Hi,
I
Juliet.
agree. But September is always good.
Yeah.
And then, of course, we've got advertising
y'all.
opportunities within the magazine and on the show.
Amen.
Just contact myself, Jamil, at swervemagazine.com.
Just have a budget.
And have a budget.
Have
We'll
a
work
budget.
With
You can come
what
on
you
in
got.
several tiers: platinum, silver, and bronze,
copper.
and copper,
We don't do triple wood.
aluminum. You can come on aluminum too.
But it's all negotiable. As long as we got something. So that being said, okay. So I'll start off with just what's going on with me. We had a great moment, the Fletcher family, and I think I have an image there,
Yay!
Jacob. So-
Congratulations.
That was amazing.
So y'all,
Amazing.
and that was just 2 days ago. My brother, who was a world-renowned drummer, jazz drummer,
World-renowned.
he was amazing. They named the street in front of our house after him, and so it's W.
I love
It's
it.
Wilbur
Who was
B.
everybody
Fletcher.
in the picture?
Oh, put the picture up
Picture
again.
back.
It's
Give the
Wilbur
roll
B.
call.
Fletcher Way for now until eternity.
You could tell who's the mother.
So my mother is there holding the sign.
Yeah.
She was so emotional. That's her sister to her left. Her brother is right behind her in the black. My uncle her cousin is there in the hat, and then standing next to me, I'm in the burgundy, holding the proclamation with the check, with the envelope that should have had a check, and no check. And my brother, who does the magazine, is right to my right. So.
Oh wow.
Yes, that's a shout out to
Tony.
to
We will,
Tony.
Jasmine.
We love you.
And I tell you, y'all, I know. And I tell you, y'all, it didn't hit me.
I got you, Jasmine.
It didn't hit me until they unveiled it. And when you see it, it's like, I mean, they've been talking about it for a couple of months, but it didn't hit me until they unveiled it. And there's the sign. renaming the street.
I think that's amazing. I think it's
That's
wonderful.
amazing.
I think it's so wonderful.
That's brilliant.
It is. So-
What a blessing.
And I see it as a tribute to my brother, also to my father, who was so active in that community. So anyway, the mayor came out, everyone came out. It was really nice. It was
That's
nice.
that's huge.
That's-
That's
that's-
huge. I got emotional. Look at the picture.
Oh, I
on
was
TV.
emotional.
When
My
I
mother
saw
started
it,
crying. I started
I got
crying.
teary-eyed too, because
Yeah,
how many people can say that?
exactly. I mean, so, but there's so many stories about that because my brother, we live in there's small row houses. Our house, it's right next to the house with the dark door. We live in the hood. We grew up in the hood, so it's a small row house. And my brother would practice the drums every day in the basement, and you could hear him blocks away.
Wow.
Everybody knew that, it was just
That
sort
was
of
his thing.
a noise that everyone accommodated. So anyway, all right. So what's going on with you folks? So your day. Let's shoot with you first.
Well, not much. I relinquished my title this past weekend.
Royally, you did.
No more sash.
And no scandal.
And I officially have retired.
Did you crown the wrong person?
There you go. I relinquished my title. I didn't give it up.
Never. Don't give a damn.
I have officially retired from pageantry. Yarde Noir will not be competing
Lies.
in
Okay.
any more pageants.
We'll
He
see.
will no longer be in the
Remember
building.
this day.
Yes, I'll be there as a former. So that happened. So congratulations to LaJohn Trinity and Akira Vel Bonet, who is our new Mr. and Miss Black National
Do we
at
have
large.
pictures on them? Because we should do something. I got space in November, December.
Yes, we will. We will do a story on them,
Okay.
on the new faces of the nation.
All right,
That
fierce.
would
I
be
love it.
wonderful.
Yes.
All right. So Tony, what's going on with you? I got an image for you as well.
You have an image for me?
Yes.
It's an older one though. It's Strange.
It's strange. That's my regular gig. The
That's
lipstick
right. But
review.
you got another gig.
You got a new gig now.
I have a new gig. Oh yes, I do have a
You
new
need
gig.
flyers. You gotta
I
send me
did. I
flyers.
made a I don't have a flyer, but
Okay.
I made my debut after 20 years of doing emceeing. I made my debut at Club Ziegfeld's this past Friday, the 5th of this month, and I was invited back once a month.
All right.
and they
until-
said it would never happen.
They said it would never. And the crazy thing is, if I can tell a story real quick, I told that story, and Alan, the owner, ran up to the stage. Who told you that?
You
I
already
said, one
know.
of your staff people.
You already
and he
know.
Went, and he went in his pocket and he compensated me and said, "Oh, you'll be back
Ah,
once
all right.
a month." So I'll
There
be
it
back
is.
every month with Daryl
I'm
Wilson.
sorry, I missed it. I got to get out there because
yeah.
Daryl's hosting that one.
With Daryl Wilson, the
First Friday,
first
right?
it's called First Friday, and we have the show downstairs, and it was a huge success.
Good,
A
good.
huge
That
success.
just goes to say, what's for you is for you.
We're
It was
there
for me.
next
For
And
me.
can't nobody block it.
And I will say, I stole one of Racine's famous jokes, and
Uh-oh.
it went over like wow. I was like, I gotta borrow her jokes more often.
Yeah. I need to copyright that.
Oh, I credited it right there. Then went on Facebook and credited her too. I
Sure
don't steal
did.
jokes.
Yes.
Yo,
When I go bam,
Get you some. Right.
get you some.
No,
I
when you
credit
say
that
get
to
you
y'all.
some, right.
We all steal from us.
we
B
need-
author stole from me.
We all
need
they all
copyright
stole from
attorney.
me.
Yeah, they all
Eartha-
stole.
Like Eartha Kid says, everyone's doing her.
Child, I've been going to Ziegfeld's and all these other clubs for so long. I've been hearing my jokes recycled over and over again. I might as well use somebody else's too. Ooh, did I
Right.
say that?
Well, I tell you, what's the bearded comic?
Shade.
Who's the bearded comic in Atlanta? What's her name?
Sophia?
No, you
Funky
know her.
Daniva?
Funky Daniva.
Oh,
I
God.
wonder. Ooh, we'll talk about that later. I wonder if she does any of your jokes. That's what I wanted to know because I meant to watch. How
I don't
it's
know.
skit.
I can't say that she does any of
No.
my jokes. But I don't think she does.
She doesn't do jokes. Period.
She does gossip but she's funny though, isn't she?
She's good.
Very funny. I
She's
love
all right. She's all right. Anyway,
She
okay.
speaks so highly of you.
Ooh, she's all right. I've met her before. And I was like, that's not that funny. Okay, Racine, what's going on with you? We got three
You have
flyers.
several
yours.
images. Could you pull them
Racine,
up?
Off
come on,
the
come on,
chain.
y'all, come on, y'all.
Tomorrow is our LGBTQ
Oh, that's right.
domestic violence
From 7 to
town hall
8:30?
from 7 to 8:30 at the Reeves Center.
We're gonna be at his thing.
I know we're going to be
at
his. I'm coming right after this event. I'm coming
Okay,
right over.
well maybe I need to go to that.
You know,
first.
so-
Go to that.
Faces tomorrow.
Yeah, so this is very important that
Okay.
we stand together.
I'm coming. What else? You got something else coming up? Oh,
This is our
25th.
polyamorous
You better have
mixer.
this hat up on your head.
I love ain't that picture
flipped
every day.
in the name.
Who styled you for that?
Actually, I styled myself. Me and Czar. Actually, Czar actually styled me for that.
It's
That
a
was fabulous.
polyamorous mixer.
Polyamorous mixer at Thursday, October the 25th.
What is that?
Polyamorous. It means many things to many people. We'll talk offline if
Somebody
you don't know
says
what
a sex
polyamorous.
party.
Please, somebody send Jamil the correct definition on Facebook Live.
I know a
Suitland
polyamorous
every
is, but a
Saturday.
polyamorous mixer?
Yes, a polyamorous mix is something because we've had something for everyone. We don't want to exclude anyone. It's
At the
Thursday,
library.
At the library, at the public library. Between
y'all.
fiction,
Stop
murder,
Stop it, y'all.
and everything else.
Okay, what
so
else?
it'll be
What else?
Thursday, October the 25th.
Bam.
Also, our season sexy,
Oh my God.
7th season finale is November the 7th at HRC.
Okay.
And that's free. That's the
What, they gonna let you have all that skin in HRC?
Yes, honey. Burlesque is in. Burlesque
All
is
right.
the rage, so it'll be fabulous. And also, I met a young woman last time at the S Racine show. Beautiful young lady, and she gave me this Black Panther shirt.
What is it?
I told
Let's
her
see.
I would wear her Black Panther.
Let's see.
It's LTD Creations by Miss Latanya Doley.
Ooh, sounds
And
like
she
you
gave
got
me
a
this
check and we
shirt.
didn't.
Yeah.
Shade.
Well, suffer. So, to anyone who has any wares or anything to like to promote, send us all of your T-shirts with
Yes.
the check.
With a
And we'll
check.
wear 'em. I'm a size XX large. You can go to asracine@gmail.com.
And the bigger the check, the more often we'll wear it. Okay?
We have to give
Not the bigger the check.
we have to give a shout out to Syria Sinclair. She's
Yes, she
online
is
with us
on.
all the way from
and to
Louisiana.
everyone, to L Train, to Robin
Hey, L Train,
Williams,
hey,
Sheila
Robin
Shabazz.
Darian Davis.
Someone asked where can
My
they get
aunt,
the
Robin Williams.
Trenton
Swerve magazine.
Snow.
You can pick it up from the DC Center.
And actually,
which is
there's
located
but that's
in
in DC. So,
My
but if you
frat
go
brother,
on
L
our,
Train.
if you go on our website, there's a list of all the distribution sites.
So there's
You
a
got
state.
that? Where did it go?
Any
Where's
place-
the website? Give them the proper
any place on
information.
top of your head in Baltimore.
That's right. Swervemagazine.com and then say where we're located.
Located,
And you
yes.
can go on Maryland.
Scroll down and look for your
Baltimore.
state and
Right.
your
Yes.
city.
Or you can meet them on the corner.
Okay.
We're always giving out magazines on the corner.
There you go.
Corner of 5th and K.
Fifth and
All right,
Bring
so,
cash.
so y'all, let's keep it moving. Let's keep moving. So we're gonna get to news. We got a full show, so we're gonna get to news. So
Hi, my
there's
beloved.
been one of the hot items that's been going on around the country. There's been some discrimination in some of the clubs, the gay night clubs. We ain't all equal. Well,
Yeah,
we're
I
not
know.
there yet. The first
Oh,
one
good.
we're gonna talk about the Monster
coming.
Night,
That's
Monster
coming. Not
Nightclub
yet.
in New York. So there's a flyer there. Let's show this flyer. So Honey Davenport is she's the featured act there. That's the young lady with the big earrings. Anyway,
And the big hair.
so this was the flyer that they were gonna put out to promote the night. And the promoter shared it with the owner of the club, and he said to change it because this looks like it's a black night, and that is bad for business. So, in response to that, Honey Davenport started her show, and she said, I'm not going to perform tonight. I just want to let y'all know because I don't sanction all this discrimination. So there's something going on in New York with the Monster Club. They're going
Manster?
back and forth. So...
Is this that she did this live?
Right, she did it live, and it's on YouTube. If you go on YouTube,
I
it's
saw
there.
that. Yeah,
Oh,
I did
see
see
it.
that.
Right,
I've seen the
right.
video. It was very emotional.
So
It
she
was
gets
very
right. She
emotional watching
cried
it.
and everything, but clearly there's an issue there because and they show the trail of emails that the owner had submitted saying that
they got receipts.
we need to replace this with two beautiful people, two beautiful dancers, and move the girls, make them smaller, right? And he said, well, there are already two hot guys there, and he was like, no, this looks like it's for a black night, and that's bad for business.
Baby, and they got
it's sad.
receipts.
It's sad, but here is the definition for you, for JJ Tate, for polyamorous.
polyamorous.
The state of having multiple sexual or romantic committed relationships at the same time with the consent of your partners involved.
Oh, I know what that is.
For those who did not
I'm
know.
I'm in perpetual polyamorous relationship.
No,
That's a
that's
whole
just
nother
called
story.
one-nighters. Those are one-night stands.
It's called whore.
Okay.
And unfortunately, they usually leave with your credit card and a few cash.
No. They usually provide
lately.
dinner. But
They
anyway,
provide dinner?
Yeah, provide dinner. All right,
Mumbo wings, mumbo sauce,
Chicken and
Four
mumbo
chicken
sauce.
wings, chicken and mumbo sauce.
So we got another issue too. You ready? Y'all ready? The DC Eagle.
Here we
y'all,
go.
In DC, threw out the former mayor, who was the current city council member Vince
Right.
Gray.
Of that ward.
Of the
that
ward
ward.
Do not leave
that
that
the
part
club
out.
sits in.
Threw him out because for they claim he didn't have
Proper
appropriate
ID.
ID. So This 72-year-old man shows his council member ID. They say, no, we need to see your date of birth. He says, no, I don't need to show you my date of birth. Mind you, he's coming to the club because we're hosting an event sponsored by
Art
DC.
All Night.
All
Right.
That DC is
The government, the DC government
is
had
sponsoring.
Is sponsoring. And the event was happening in his ward.
In his ward, right.
At your club that he supported the gays.
So they physically throw him out. The bouncer gets up, throws him, pushes him out the door. He falls
to the ground.
Bruises
Needless
himself.
to be said, he is filing charges. He said he's filing charges with the U.S. Attorney's Office.
And he should.
And he should.
Well, this just speaks
So-
to the level of the climate of this country, where we are as a whole, not even of LGBT issues, just where we are with color as a country. It speaks volume. And it speaks volume because it is perpetuated from the White House on down, and it's a travesty. But that's why everyone must remember to vote November.
That's right, November 6th.
But you know, but if I can play, I know I saw on Jamil's post someone.
Oh, baby.
Someone.
Yeah,
well, that other stuff I didn't. I
had
ignored
interaction
that.
with the manager.
But someone from, I think it was the manager, was saying this was not the person who did it was a person of color. That, to me, speaks even louder about white supremacy, because there are people of color who will do whatever they can to try to fit in and try to make themselves relevant to that. We all saw what's Django and Chains. We all know that. We all know that person. So for somebody to yell to me, "Oh, but this was a person of color that did it," that really means absolutely nothing to me.
Black, because I thought if they were black, they would have said he was black.
Yeah, but
So
they said as a
I
person
wanted-
of color. That means absolutely nothing to me.
So let me read to you what the first statement that the club issued afterwards. They say, for this altercation to have occurred, we do apologize. That's what they said. That's it. And they said the member of our security staff at the door that evening has only lived in the area for 4 months and was not familiar with the council member and his service to the district. We will retrain all of our staff to ensure that a focus on customer service and de-escalation is adhered to. That's the first statement. And that was before Vincent Gray got on TV and was on every other channel talking about, look at what y'all did to me. I'm getting ready to file charges. Go ahead.
So whether or not you knew him or not.
Exactly.
This man is well over the age of 21.
He's 72.
And I don't care who you are. You don't deserve to be thrown out on nobody's ground.
Well,
I mean, thrown
can
out.
I piggyback on that? Not only do you not deserve it, I think it's illegal for you to put your hands on someone.
Right.
It is illegal to just put your hands on someone. If they wanted him removed from the club, they should have called a licensed officer to have him taken out
And
of
actually,
the club.
he called the police. He called the police.
So I don't see how people can justify that. And here's the thing. I also saw on your page where the person was saying, and they just said it too, well, he didn't know that this was, but Vincent Gray came to and said, I am an elected official.
Right.
And then
He made room for him to park because he was an elected official.
And he showed him his council member
His council member ID, y'all.
Come right on in.
Come on, y'all. His council member ID, y'all. Come on.
But there are people online who want to debate.
It's sad. I refuse to go online and debate because you know what?
I'm not either.
I'm not getting into
I'm
that.
outraged by it though, because my thing was, would this have happened to? So we have some white council members, Phil Mendelson
Or Jim Graham.
Jack Evans, and
Jim
Jack,
Graham is gone
If
to
Jim
glory.
Graham was alive and that happened to him, that place would have been closed that evening.
Well,
The
you
cops
know,
would still be there.
well, Vincent Gray is a force to be reckoned with. I think this is
clearly.
not going to go. This is,
Oh,
and people think it's going to go away quietly. I really don't think
this
so.
is
I
the
don't think so
problem.
either.
This is the problem in a nutshell. They have now opened up the pathway for when a community doesn't want you there.
That's right.
And your people, your team on down has not done the proper procedures to engage the community as a whole. Then when a situation that has occurred such, has now opened the door, the pathway. So now they're involving the community, the ANC leaders, the city council, the liquor license.
I know I would be.
All of them are now going to be engaged.
So we're gonna keep moving.
It is going to be an ongoing. This will not go away.
But this is my issue with them. This is a leather club, and I tell you, I've been in there, and the drugs were flowing. The boys were popping the pills. People were pissing on each other, doing everything. Blowjobs in the bathroom.
Well, Jasmine Blue just really made an amazing
she did.
point.
However, her point is still not moot. Your point is moot, Jasmine, because it was an art. It was an art at.
It wasn't their regular night.
It wasn't a regular night. It was a citywide, continuous event that was happening in every ward. It was not a regular night at the club. It was called Art all night. They had one event in every ward throughout the city.
Well, they had multiple events.
They had multiple events.
And this was the one that was
and he
in
was there to
Ward
support
7.
the one that was in his
at that event.
Exactly.
And I'm with you, Tony. This is clearly not the end. I said,
No.
and I said that to the person. I said, if you know anything about Mr. Gray,
No.
the fact that he keeps talking about this means that he is not happy
Well,
with
I
it.
just think it's a disgrace that you would put your hands on someone. And I think it's a disgrace. It angers me that we would not only put your hands on someone, but we put in our hands that we have no respect for our senior, whether or not he was a city council person or just a
Right.
senior person walking in that club. Why would you feel like you have to physically force a senior out of the club
Right.
and onto the floor? It's ridiculous.
And hopefully, I'm glad and I'm happy that he wasn't injured.
And this is the interesting thing. The interesting thing is this is only public because it was Vincent Gray.
That's right.
Had he not been a name, had he been the next Joe Blow, it would have been, they would have probably called,
Brushed
filed
it
a
over.
report, and everybody would have brushed over and
But-
was like, oh, they're calling racist again.
But this does speak to a larger issue. I do, and I saw somebody else say this, and I do agree. Other clubs have hired people to be at the doors that really were not friendly to the gay community,
Right.
And they, and I think they just need a job, and they have not been very. They have not.
They
been
haven't
very
been
nice,
held accountable.
and they have not been held accountable.
Well, dude,
We've. I
this
know
is a
I have
wake-up
been-
call.
I have been. I mean, now that I'm somewhat known in the clubs around
You're
here.
a celebrity.
Well, we won't say, yeah, okay, but people will move. I mean, I'm just going to be honest with you. I've gone to the Eagle, and they moved the doors and let here come Tony Nelson, come on
All
in.
right,
so,
Fierce.
but no, my point is, I don't want. I'm not buying that whole thing about he didn't have an ID because I've walked right in. I mean, and we do everybody. No, you don't. No, you
Right,
don't.
right,
I'm a personal witness that when I walk up to that club, you will just open the doors and let me go.
Well, then we're gonna move on. But I tell you what, one thing, I give them a year.
They got to go.
I give them a year before
They have no business.
before
Got
the
to go.
community-
We're gonna put some
because
roaches
you've
in there.
you open up this
And
club
some-
in a
and some
community,
rats.
and like Racine said, you haven't engaged
They
the
probably already
community.
got 'em there.
You just made a playground. You just opened up this playground for you to come and do whatever, and then you've disrespected the community.
Yes,
and now they're gonna respond.
And it's sad because I believe that we really need to come up with a solution. We need to, and I like to throw my name in as the nightmare for that's what DC.
Oh, that
needs.
DC's
They
very
are
high
working for
nightmare. Well,
And,
a good
Commission of
apology
Arts.
would be nice.
A
They,
good-
they submitted an apology,
And
but it
we-
was a half-assed one.
We need a area designated for clubs, and we need an area that is safe for those who are going, for those who are in, and for those around it. And we also need to provide proper training and sit-down dialogues with club owners. If you come into our staff, if you want to set up and establish in our community,
Can you at least
this is what we
embrace
want.
the neighborhood? Can you at least have something for them?
And just real quick, and I know we got to move on, but just real quick, and at least understand the history of that community. What people do not
Right.
realize
That's
is
right.
that Deanwood, that area
Yes.
that you just moved in, is the oldest
Yep.
continuous African
African-American
American
neighborhood
community in the
Washington,
entire
Washington.
country. No, the entire country.
Oh, really?
In the entire country. It is the oldest continuous African American neighborhood that has always been African American in the entire country. H.D. Woodson built the houses
Oh,
in
wow.
that neighborhood.
I did not know. I did not
Do
know
you
H.D. Woodson
research
did.
it?
I didn't know.
All right.
H.D.
Research
You
it.
live there.
Yeah,
All
he
right, y'all.
built the houses there. So understand the depth of the history of that community and show some respect.
I mean, that was just
Yeah, that's
disrespectful.
it.
So anyway,
Terrible. I would like.
we'll keep you posted on what the progress of that.
I want to give a
all right?
shout out to Tony Lavore Adams, who is Mr. Black National Prince.
Yes, he
tuned-
is.
Hey,
Mr.
Black
in.
National.
my beloved, and to everyone like and share on Facebook.
Like and share.
So let's be clear. We are not promoting anything totally against the Eagle because I don't want, because see, folks will twist this.
I
Let me
am
be very
promoting. I'm
clear.
promoting
I'm not-
that they
I-
owe.
Close them down.
I am
I wanna
promoting.
say-
I'm
no,
promoting.
no.
They owe Mr. Gray.
They owe him
real
a public apology, and they need to do
We
some
have not
public
gotten an apology.
engagement, and they need to work on proper channels.
I
I'm
agree.
not saying that.
I'm not going over there until I feel justice is done. I'm telling you.
And we thank
I'm
you.
not going
We-
over there or
we-
playing enough and nothing. I'm not doing nothing with the DC Eagle.
We thank you, Malcolm X, for your point. But
If you're gonna treat him like that, who else you treat?
yeah,
today?
so,
treat
so
me
they
like
need to
that.
do some community engagement.
Yes, yeah.
And if we have to do
And
some
it-
sensitivity training, so
and it
Swerve is
doesn't-
opening up the door, the dialogue, to come in and do some sensitivity training.
Did you say Sister
Sensitive-
We'll talk about
training.
it. Come on, we gotta keep moving. Okay.
We'd
all right.
like to open that
All right.
dialogue.
So I want to remind everybody that November 6th is Election Day.
Yes, midterms.
So get out, register, and vote. Because registration ends in some jurisdictions sometime this month. But remember, November 6th comes. I don't know, care where you are. You need to go out and vote.
And you
just
can
to
do early voting. Early
and
voting.
you can do early voting. And I want to remind you by showing this clip from HRC. Jacob. said you can do whatever you want. I'm sorry.
And we're back.
And we're back. Okay, y'all. So we got
Shade in the background.
we got the one and only Samson in the house, y'all. And we
Baby,
wasting time talking about all this stupid stuff.
He is glowing. You see
Isn't
that?
he glowing?
That good black. That's that good melanin.
That skin looks good.
No, that looks like a
Soft
good
and simple.
afterglow of sex. That looks like a good afterglow of sex. That's why Samson
That's that
was
LA
named.
look,
Oh,
y'all. That's
Lord.
that West
Not
Coast.
the
West
sex.
Coast.
Yes.
So Samson, we
I
got
wish. I just
Samson.
left the sex party. No, I'm just playing. I'm playing.
Thank
I'm
you.
playing.
Samson.
The polyamorous.
In
tell us-
Suitland. Uh-huh.
Oh, the one in Suitland.
Oh Lord,
Across
y'all
the
not
street
gonna let
from the
Samson
station.
talk.
Well, bless it. You better call it out.
At Alley Cat's house.
Shade.
Now, I didn't say that.
I did.
Samson. Okay.
Oh, somebody said Samson got good booty.
We're talking about Samson, the comedian, y'all. So Samson was on our
You got
cover.
booty too.
Samson was on our cover. Can we show that?
Yes.
In 2015, along
Yes,
with
we had so much fun. Him and Tammy
Tammy
PA.
That was a great cover.
Yes, and there's another image of
I
him
love
from that,
that
issue.
cover.
I still got that jacket. Come to think of it, and there's another. Right.
Oh, wow.
There he is.
Yes.
Look
Yes,
at
sir, they
Samson.
beat my face for the gods on
You
that.
didn't have to
Yeah.
beat much. You was already
Yeah,
beat.
you was already
That's
glowing.
right. So that was in 2015. So we wanted to catch up with our friend who happened to be in town from
Yes.
LA. Hey man.
Welcome
What's
back
up?
home.
I know. I am so happy to be in DC.
Yeah.
It's because there's no black culture in LA.
Really?
No.
No, so
It's void.
It's a void.
No black culture in LA.
You ain't been
No.
shooting over to Oakland?
Oh, of course I go up to Oakland.
Oh,
I mean, I
okay.
have to, but I mean, I love.
That's a ways away from LA, though.
It's like from here to New York.
Okay,
Like
it's
4
not too
hours.
It's
bad.
not too bad.
So Samson, what's going on with you these days? I understand you're in town for a speakeasy evening at the African American Museum.
Yes.
You're making
Yes.
That's
history.
tomorrow evening, right?
Breaking it
What
up.
time?
It's tomorrow. The doors at 6:30. The show starts at 7.
And we all got, I meant to tell y'all I got tickets. I picked up 4 tickets. So,
Okay.
So let me know if y'all are coming.
I'll be
I-
there.
I'll
I'll
come.
just
I'll
be
come
late.
late.
Right, I'll print out.
I'll
your
be there,
ticket.
but I'll be late.
Yeah, I'm gonna come.
Y'all
I'm gonna
coming
come to your
late?
event too. Yeah.
I'll be late.
I asked
I'll be
them to
there
lock the
7
doors
to
after
11.
7 o'clock.
They locking the doors.
So
Baby,
what,
Lock the door.
I
No,
got
I'm just
faces to paint and coins to make.
so what is
I'll
this-
be there after the function.
Samson, what is this event? Tell us about what it is.
Well, this event is many things that I'm very proud of. Number one, it's a celebration of where we come from as Black American LGBTQ artists from the Harlem Renaissance on.
Okay.
And actually before then. And it's also a historic night because it's the first time that an LGBT comic has performed at any Smithsonian.
Oh wow,
ever.
man!
So
You've been
it's-
breaking.
Wow.
You've been breaking barriers.
You better
from
break
day
it up.
one. So
Break it up.
yeah.
Give it to me. Come on.
That's a blessing.
So tell us what else is going on. And for all of you who might not know who Samson is, he is a comedian.
The one or two.
And he's like one of the
Can I
premier
ask you a
comedians at the intersection of being black and LGBT.
Don't you hate when people always say, "Hi, this is Samson. He's a comedian," and the first thing he says, "Tell me a joke."
Yeah, and I slap those people. No, I'm playing.
People always expect funny people to be on at all times. Do you find that to be the case?
Sometimes, but I think when people talk to me, I mean, if you're, I'm the homie. So, if you sit down on the sofa with me, well, I'm gonna jerk you up. No, I'm just playing.
Let's go.
If you sit down on the sofa with me, at 11 o'clock and we just chilling, like we'll laugh together then. But my stuff is more cerebral. I like thinking about things. It's more pointing out absurdities about things, and it's like an experience. We laugh together.
Right.
And that's what it is. And I think that's why people like me, because I'm not up there putting on. I'm up there because I have something to say.
You are the great observer. Can I tell you, like, sometimes you just say stuff and I go, I never thought about that, but that is so true.
Well, it's a mix of that. It's a mix of observation plus things that people really aren't supposed to say out loud. Like, premier example, the things that I've said about Donnie McClurkin. The
Actually,
things
I have a clip. I have a clip.
Oh, you got that clip?
Can we show a clip?
Y'all
So I got a
get me in
clip of
trouble.
you pray the gay away. Let's show that
Oh,
clip.
I remember
I
that.
got
y'all
in
can see
trouble for
Samson
that.
in
I got
action,
in trouble
y'all.
for that show.
I was at this rally and I was surprised to hear these black Baptist ministers come out in support of gay marriage. I was like, what did he just say? I was like, say it again, say it again. And, because see, I'm from North Carolina, and I don't know how many of y'all know this. I don't know how many old school Church of God in Christ, Pentecostal, Apostolic, turn some furniture over, swing around on the chandelier, humana, 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 shake a tail, Father, thank you, Jesus, that type of stuff, right? Thank you, Jesus. Roll around on the floor, kick their shoes off like Patti LaBelle. I'm talking about it'd be crazy. And that's the type of church that I grew up in. It's like every Sunday they would have us to come up, and like they were serious in there, because if you get pregnant out of wedlock, they will make you stand up in front of the church and apologize, right? And they will sit you down off the choir or the usher board or whatever it is that you on, and we're not going to talk about the time I had to apologize for being pregnant. No, I'm just playing. No, but it's like I hated it, because every time I go down there, and the pastor get to preach, he'd be like, oh yes, and pass that collection plate. Oh yes, get your soul right with Jesus. And then the spirit will start moving, right? He'd be like, oh, the Lord is calling me right now. Humana, 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 shake it, baby, baby, baby. Oh, Patti LaBelle, Shaka Khan, Christina Aguilera, waka la 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 la. And for real, some of them pastors that be trying to call them demons, I'll be like, there's a homosexual demon in here. We're gonna cast it out. Yes. I'm not breaking my neck. They'd be like, the Lord hates homosexuals. Well, Donnie McClurkin, yeah. I seen this Adam for Adam profile, bitch. Fish and loaves. Yeah, right, okay. No, I had this one minister come up to me one time talking about, the Lord hates homosexuals. I was like, God damn, he must despise your ass then. And I hate it, because when I used to go down there, like I would go down there and the spirit would get to moving and everything. They'd be like, oh yeah, thank you, Jesus. Thank you, Jesus. And I feel some spirits. There's some spirits we need to cast out up in here. La, 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 la. There's a spirit of homosexuality right over here. This the 5th Sunday in a row. Really, bitch? meet me after service for one-on-one prayer. You know? And I have to go down there, you know, and so when I go back to North Carolina in a couple weeks, I'm going to be there on a Sunday. And I already know I'm going to be sitting there minding my business, and this bitch is going to be walking around the pulpit, be like, oh, I feel the spirit of homosexuality right over here. You need to come up for prayer, son. Because that's what I went through growing up. It's like every Sunday, it was like, we want that spirit of homosexuality to come out. Come out, homosexual demon. But I got something for their ass when I get back down there. I'm going to get down there, you know, he's going to be like, I feel the spirit of homosexuality right over here. Come on up for prayer. And I'm going to go ahead on up there and get some of that prayer. We want that homosexual demon to come out. Come out, homosexual demon. I'm going to be like, hello. And if I feel the spirit moving, I'm be like, I know you're a T.
All right, y'all. That's a sample of who we got in the house.
gosh.
Oh, wow. Samson, that was amazing.
Samson, how does it feel? How does it feel to watch yourself on screen?
I don't like doing it. I don't like doing it unless I'm working on a project. But I like watching other people. I support other artists. I like seeing what other people are doing because I'm at heart, like I'm a comic, but at heart I am an artist. Mm-hmm. So whether it's drag, whether it's comics, whether it's poetry or dance, I like just seeing people in action and expressing themselves, and that feeds me. And I love being around black people.
Yes.
So you said was there any backlash from the spirit community like Donnie McClurkin?
Yes, please.
Who was
tell
on
us.
last night? Tell us. Tell us the juice.
So Donnie McClurkin, we actually met at a sex party one night, and
Please stop. Oh my God.
Shut up,
How do you tie a yellow bow tie?
David tie my bow tie.
Oh, you know what I was?
Well, he untied the devil is a liar.
Was that at one of those church music conferences?
it was at the Kojic conference in Memphis, and somebody was teabagging me. and
Oh,
he-
well, bless it.
And he just cupped the balls and he said, I need to talk to you.
Ooh, y'all better let Donnie come out. So anyway,
Lord in the name.
so look.
With your
I understand
balls.
you got an album out. Tell us
I'm
about
kidding.
Shea
I'm
Butter.
really kidding. I'm kidding. I'm gonna say
He said he's
this.
kidding. He said he's
I
kidding.
did get in trouble. I've gotten in trouble with a majority of the churches that we have gone to in this city that tell us we're going to hell, but y'all keep giving them money.
Mount, what
One
is
of
it?
Rhode Island?
Greater Mount Calvary.
Greater Mount
Greater Mount
Calvary.
Track.
One of the
Ooh, all the
longest
kids are
running
in
black
Greater Mount
gay clubs
Calvary.
in the country.
Black
Pretty
you
much.
older than a meal.
Yeah, right. Older than the meal and just as much action.
Oh,
and, I mean,
I'm just feeding off of his joke. 'cause
I didn't. It wasn't me, right?
Come on, y'all. Come on,
no,
y'all.
but they've come out.
Our beloved Derek is sending you some love.
Yes,
our
Derek
cover
said he
model.
sends you some love, Derek Rutledge. Thank you for tuning in. He
hey,
is the
Derek.
cover model for this
Yes.
particular issue.
So tell us about your album, Shea Butter and Jesus.
So Shea Butter and I know, right? We just
Available on
from
iTunes,
trashing
y'all.
the kids to Shea Butter and Jesus. So Shea Butter and Jesus is, I think, my 5th comedy album. We recorded it live in San Francisco, and I'm really proud of it. I'm actually working on another project now. I'm also working on. I mean, the albums are selling well, but people don't. I mean, considering that people don't listen to comedy albums anymore, this one sold really, really well. The most popular one for the last few years has been That Bitch Better Be Funny.
That Bitch Better Be
Yeah,
Funny.
Right,
that's
right.
the top selling
Which was
one.
live here in Washington.
So we can get your albums via.
On iTunes, or you can just follow me on Instagram, and I will show you my my OnlyFans page because I make money like that now.
Okay, I didn't know that. See, I didn't
Yeah,
know
you have
that.
an
I'm
OnlyFans
playing.
page?
I'm playing. OnlyFans. So it's
Oh, do
like,
you?
It's a virtual hole.
Lamar.
Pretty much.
Lamar, I know you've been commenting on his
That's
booty.
a sample. No, I'm
Lamar.
just playing. No, but you can follow me on Instagram at Samson McCormick. SampsonMick.
Okay, we'll
Thank you
post
for
that.
spelling.
We'll post that. So tell us how did you get into comedy?
Yes.
So this year, I've been doing it for 17 years. I come from theater. I studied black theater in school. When I first started, my teacher wanted me to sing opera. I was one of the only boys interested in opera.
Really?
Yeah, my mother hated it. And so
It's like he's a homosexual.
she knew it, and I got in so much trouble because they knocked on her door and they said, your son was up there singing opera. And so she said, you cannot sing, and I wanted to sing so bad. So she said, you can do theater. And she said that begrudgingly. And so we studied, fences and a raisin in the sun and all
wow.
that.
Did you go to Duke Ellington? Did you go to Duke
No,
Ellington?
he's from North Carolina.
Oh, that's
no,
right.
I'm from D.C., but I grew up in North Carolina,
okay.
but I'm from D.C.
He from Southeast.
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 We take your credit
What
cards.
school you went to?
Suitland and then New Enterprise.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
So the other
And-
art school.
But I did get into Duke Ellington, but
Did you?
my mom just did not. I had one of those old-fashioned moms who doesn't believe that art equates to much until she started coming out, and folks started coming out.
She
was
started
like,
counting the money.
Yeah.
At the door in charge.
She said, "Oh, okay."
Like, I should have let you go.
I want to say something to you, Samson. As an artist, and especially a comedian, and a lot of times comedians pour their soul out, and sometimes it comes from a lot of place, deep, a good comedian. And I've listened and watched you grow, and you have the ability to tell stories as a comedian, very similar to Paul Mooney, because I've watched you tell stories on stage and make people think. And it's that kind of cleverness and that ability to, as an artist, to make the audience think in the moment. And when they catch it and see how funny and prolific what you're saying, that's a true gifted artist. And you posted something on social media a while back about where you were on this journey and what you have gone through. And you poured out your soul, and so many other artists chimed in, and people gave you so much encouraging words. And publicly, I think it's important because at one point you wanted to walk away. And you were being discouraged by the industry as a whole. But you don't know what you do. That is your gift.
Yes.
And that is your ability to do and be only Samson, because there's only one.
It's only one.
So are you like? I mean, so
Thank you.
Are we supporting you? So I know you had posted something about how like the Black Prides don't hire the artists. I know we had this conversation with David Johns from MBJC.
Yeah,
he
we
talked
did,
about
yeah.
that, and we were telling him, you need to support our artists.
Literally
Bring
2
on the
weeks ago.
singers and the artists from our community. Do you get support from our community?
I had a conversation with a friend, and he really, because I mean, it's the thing is, like, we can cuss, right?
Yeah, you can get.
Okay.
Yeah, this.
Not a lot of cussing,
Get
but
your
some.
Motherfucker. No, I'm just playing. But I was talking to a friend, and sometimes you just, and I'm very transparent about all my stuff. You have to, whether you're a pastor, artist, whatever, you need people to pour your feelings out to. And I'm sensitive about my shit. I'm a real artist. And so I was talking to a friend about it, and I was like, people just don't support Black gay artists. And in turn, I see how a lot of us interact with each other. And this is what I've just noticed online with a lot of Black LGBT artists, how they interact with each other, like on threads and things like that. We start to look at each other as competition because we don't believe that there are enough opportunities. And so I was just talking to him about all these things, and he was saying, our community supports its artists in the best way that it knows how. So, and it's things like allowing me to come on the Swerv show, somebody calling me from the museum saying, we love your work, come perform here. So maybe not in the capacity that I thought at one time or wanted, but I think the community does the best that it can.
I will say this though. I think that it's important that when you have a platform that you use it in a way that speaks truth to power. I think that you speaking out about it made people very conscious of it.
Right.
Because oftentimes, I remember when you first was like, how come it is that Black Pride won't make Black gay artists headliners? And I was
Because we're
like,
out here.
And I was like, oh, that is, and it was not until you said it that I was like, oh.
Right.
Yeah,
We're booking Brandy and
like people
and
who ain't even like, we will pay you top dollar to come to be a headliner, but we won't pay
Monica. We booked
see what I
them.
mean?
Right.
And
Yeah,
so
I mean,
it was
and
not,
there
it was
are
not until you said it.
some incredible Black LGBT artists who who could at least open these shows.
Right.
You know, like why hasn't and I mean they don't have to call me. I mean, why aren't you calling Wanda Sykes? Why aren't you calling Gina Yashere? Why aren't you calling, you know, Karen Williams? You know, it's like these, and that's for comics. You know, but that's in every category. There, you know, rappers like we, especially because the white gays, they do it. I see what they do.
Sure, they do.
As black people and as black LGBT, we need to start building our own wealth and building our own collateral, and I would like to see more of that.
Yeah.
Agreed.
Yeah, great.
All right. Now, and I take it that's one of your challenges that you have being a comedian.
Yeah.
What about? I know what else? So what are you working on these days? What else is going on? Are you you're always on tour? You're traveling. Do you write for other people?
Occasionally, I
Okay.
do write. There were a couple of offers on the table, a couple of really big offers on the table for writing, and recently I was cast in Queer Eye on Netflix.
I remember
remember
we
that.
talked about it actually.
Yeah.
We was
Yeah.
pulling for you.
And
We were.
you know what you're supposed to have, you will get.
Yes.
And I
Right.
sat in my bed and I cried and listened to Mary J. Blige and drank Hennessy and ate ice cream, and then I got over it. You know.
Was Karamo? Was he aware that you had been cast for it?
You know, people try to make things out of.
I mean, y'all are
nothing.
totally different artists.
Totally different. So people tweet and they try to start beefs, and I had to let them know. I was like, I support that brother. Anybody that I see doing anything and they're black, I'm supporting them. And I'm just happy to see one of us
Right.
represented in media. I'm gonna get mine.
Yeah, definitely.
And this season, I mean, I literally first and second season of the new Queer Eye has been absolutely great, and Karamo has been good. He has been good.
He's
I
good.
do think that you would have been hilarious.
I haven't seen it.
It's really
my
good.
question is, why can't there be you and him on the show?
That's always. I mean, it's
Because they never want two black
They
gays.
never want.
They just don't want.
They would probably try to pit us against each other because I mean that's what people are trying to do now.
Yeah.
You know, on
Really?
social media.
Well, this season, I know they tried to really make it as diverse as possible, but you know, I just can't.
I haven't seen it actually.
Well, they did. They
they-
worked on trying to make it diverse for both seasons, first
Right.
and second season.
Is it a different cast? The second
No,
season?
no,
I
no,
haven't seen
no. It's the
second
same
season.
cast, but the storylines are very diverse. Like
Right.
you didn't the first Queer Eye, you didn't see this many black people to show up on. I mean, they didn't.
It's done much better, but I will say
is.
that Samson, I think you would have added
Yes.
a nice.
a whole nother dynamic.
But you said something that was very important.
What's
I can remember years ago running to you in DuPont Circle. You had your little hot pants on, and we just stood in the streets. and
hot
we,
pants.
That's what you,
World.
you are known for your hot pants.
But the thing is, I said it then, and I'll say it again. All you have to do is just see it,
yeah.
and it will come to fruition. And I've watched you since then, and I've watched things evolve for you. And I'm following you on Facebook. I gave you an idea, and I still see it. I had a dream about him. I'm not gonna tell it on this thing because somebody's gonna steal it. But
I'll steal it.
somebody's gonna steal it. But just keep going. That Queer Eye, or these 2 seasons of Queer Eye weren't for you. Maybe next season.
Right.
You never know.
And I will
Right,
say
but
this.
what you also
I do want to say this to you, Samson. I want you to know that you are such an inspiration to so many people that you have
You're-
no
you're a
clue.
pioneer. You're a pioneer.
You have no clue. Like I remember
Yeah.
when we first met.
At that sex party in Suitland.
Alley Cat's house.
I would have remembered that.
Suitland doesn't have sex parties.
Who was looking up or who was looking down? That's all I want to know.
But I will tell you that I promise you that it has been an honor to know you, to call you friend, to work with you, to actually see your promos, and I'm like,
And we're gonna do some
I
more.
still for that. You know what I mean?
We're gonna do some more together.
That
We're gonna do
means-
some
that
more.
means
We're
the
gonna do a
world to
cover.
watch
We're gonna do
you
another
grow.
cover. Yeah,
It
we're
means
gonna
it
do
means
another
the
cover.
world to watch you grow.
Thank you.
And we're
But look-
watching and cheering you on.
But look if you would have given up.
Yeah.
Look at the blessings that have come since then.
Oh Lord, sometimes I do. I just want to go move down to the south and get me a man, feed him cornbread, have a baby and a dog, and mind my business. Okay, but I know I wouldn't be fulfilled if I
Right.
did that because I don't just do comedy. What I do is I interact with people on a very spiritual level as well, and it's
Yeah.
love. It's love.
Yeah.
So we need to go. We need to direct people to the website.
Please.
They need to come out tomorrow evening. from 7 to 11. It's
I'm
a
coming.
long
I think
We
day.
it's
coming.
sold, I do believe. I think it's sold out.
Are you going on later on? Because
I'm coming
We
later.
ain't gonna get there till 8.
It's me and
What
two
time we
other
getting there?
wonderful artists. It's me and Too Deep and
Charlene Carruthers.
Right.
Who's got
Are
the
you
book,
last?
wrote an amazing
Unapologetic.
book.
Right. Yeah.
I don't know. I think so.
I need you to be last.
We'll
Well, you
will
are.
see.
Well, you are a headliner.
You are a headliner.
It's gonna be, it's
Don't
gonna
be.
be a
Don't
dope-
be bashful walking that
And
light.
where, and where can people
Embrace
see
it.
you? Because I know you're always on tour. I know you did a lot of the Black Pride, a lot of the Pride events around the country. But you're always on tour.
Always.
Right.
And the thing is I'm breaking into a lot of mainstream just because now I'm becoming more of a businessman, and I would like to open up the door for other artists. I would like to create a larger presence for us in media. So I'm producing films. I have a documentary coming out about racism in the gay community.
Oh, wow.
I
Really?
have a film that'll be out later this year with some amazing people in it. I'm not going to drop no names, but y'all going to see. Y'all going to be like, what? And it is about a black gay man who has to set boundaries with his mother because there isn't enough art out about our families as
Amen.
LGBT people.
Right.
And so I have a lot of things coming down the pipeline that I'm working on.
Okay. And so you're still based in L.A., but
I am between LA and Oakland. I have to get out of LA sometime.
won't you just move
They
to
have no
Atlanta?
culture.
Isn't Atlanta where we are now? Isn't that Black Hollywood?
Yeah, but I don't.
Tyler Perry.
I love men a whole lot, and I don't need those distractions. So I stay away from it.
But Tyler Perry needs
How about
somebody
that?
to write
But
some
weren't
new
you
jokes.
working on some upcoming series? Weren't you? I said
sorry,
series.
did I
Please
say
pay
that?
for me.
I'm still
there's
working
some
on those.
There's some things I've been watching your posting, and you got some things coming up on it, but you can't probably talk about them now, right?
Those I'm not going to talk about. Those are all works. And what Monique's story?
What's
is
the
Jasmine
Monique
Blue
story,
talking
Jasmine?
Yeah,
They're
what
they're
Monique-
good friends. Him and Monique are very good friends.
And I will say this: I will always take up for Monique. I mean, it's like watching family. Like, I mean, I love Oprah. I love Tyler Perry. I love like all these people. I'm like, can y'all just make up? But they lied on Monique. Like, Monique is, and when I say they, I mean like the industry. Monique is one of the sweetest, realest people you ever meet in this business, and she's always been good to me. 1 month I didn't have rent, she paid my rent.
That's
Monique,
the kind of person she is. She's
my
a
rent
beautiful,
is due.
phenomenal woman. Monique is
Monique.
a wonderful, phenomenal woman. And understand when sometimes when you stand up, the arrows will come. And sometimes they like to pit family, and as we're family, all of us are family in this business, and they like to pit the cousins against the other cousin, against the other aunt, and that's what we do. And sometimes I think that sometimes as a family we should come together a little tighter, and get our own stuff together behind closed doors. And then when we talk about it publicly, we're on a united front. And and what happened to Monique has happened to a lot of people. And it's very similar to a lot of movements that come across the country. When you stand up in your own light and you stand up for injustice, the arrows will come.
So are you well received by the other black comedians?
Yeah, I mean, I have yet to tour with a.
I mean, I see pictures of you and everybody.
Well, yeah, me and Paul Mooney, we used to tour together. I did some stuff with Dick Gregory, but most of the male artists, we're cool behind the scenes, but they have yet to say, "Come on tour with me."
Wow.
Or whatever. The women, Lunel.
So you and Linnell.
Linnell, baby.
Yeah,
Linnell loves some
Yes, you
Samson.
do.
Yeah, them, we're together all the time and we're working on some stuff. And somebody keeps asking about Aunt Jackie. Aunt Jackie is amazing. And
We love Aunt Jackie.
I'm working on a thing for Aunt Jackie. A little show.
Well, y'all,
Thank you.
we're gonna have to close
We
up.
love
So, Samson, y'all
you for coming.
follow Samson.
Yes, Instagram at Samson McCormick.
At Samson McCormick.
SampsonMcCormick.
And we'll post it.
I'm on Christian Mingle.
ChristianMingle.com.
And y'all, Samson, and I always say this, Samson's gonna be a big star, y'all. He
I'm
really
telling
is.
He's
you,
already
I
a big
saw
star.
It's just a matter of
even
time.
bigger. He's going to be like
Yeah.
a Tiffany Haddish.
And we ain't gonna have this kind of
level star.
access.
I'm telling you.
We ain't got this kind of access to him, so we got to get him while we can.
I'm such a hood rat. I'll
That's
still
what they
be
all
around.
say.
It's
So
time.
I'm telling you, I see it. I
We
saw it
speaking
years
it.
ago.
And
Look.
when you do your HBO special, me and Tony gonna open
We
it.
That's
in
right.
the- That's right.
That's
Oh my
right.
God, I would love
All
it.
right.
I
We'll
would
be your
love it.
Florence Ballot, and what's that other chick? We'll just be back like this.
Mary Wilson.
Yeah.
Mary Wilson.
All right, y'all. We want to thank Samson for joining us.
Thank
y'all
you
for having
Thank
me.
everyone for
Thank
joining
you
us
for
for the
coming,
Swerve
Samson.
Show.
We love you.
And follow Samson, y'all. He's just, and first of all, he's too funny. First of all, That's
Everybody on
another thing.
Facebook,
So
like
anyway,
and share.
Like
thank
and
y'all.
share.
Y'all have a good evening.
See y'all.
Thank you.
Listen vision, listen vision, listen vision, listen vision. DC's #1 recording studio. Listen vision, listen vision, listen vision.